So, Madden 21 up for release late this year. They finally released their ratings. Five players in the 99 club. Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, Aaron
Yep.
Donald, Stephon Gilmore, Christian McCaffrey, and Michael Thomas. All with exceptional seasons last year. Any
Yep.
problems with anyone in this 99 club?
No, not at all. To be quite honest, I think this is one of the first years where I've literally loved every one of them. I can't really say a bad thing about anyone either, can you? I just look at the stats as well. Just Aaron Donald's card just looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Aaron Donald has been, I've heard, called a lot the best football player in the NFL. Would you agree?
Yeah, just as an all-round player as well. And then you just look at how dominant he is in his position, his football IQ. He's just I don't know. He's just one of them guys that he got me into playing defensive tackle when I switched positions for football, and he was great to watch. He's very inspiring, I think. So, yeah, I would agree with that.
I'd rather be on his side than against
Yeah.
him. I give
Oh
him
yeah,
that.
for sure.
Looking through the quarterback ratings, so we've got Patrick Mahomes up at the top.
Yep.
Then we've got Russell Wilson, 97. We obviously said earlier, the most consistent player I'd say at the minute.
Yep.
I really have no problems with him being a 97.
No. I think that's well deserved, to be fair, as well. With Russell, he's played every season pretty much of his career. It's been good or better, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't think he's ever had like an actual bad season. So, well deserved.
Rounding out the top 10, we've got Lamar Jackson on 94, Drew Brees 93, Tom Brady 90, Aaron Rodgers 89, Matt Ryan 87, Deshaun Watson 86, Dak Prescott 84, Carson Wentz 84. Looking down this list, the two that are really standing out to me, Tom Brady 90 and Aaron Rodgers 89.
Yeah, I think I think everyone's just going at Brady for the season he had last season as if he had an actual, as if he fell off completely. I think people are just going to go at Brady for that just because of how good he's played in the past. And I think Madden's always going to be like that, where they'll drop a player just because he didn't win the Super Bowl pretty much. And that said, he gets hit with the ratings. And I think it's quite disheartening as well, seeing that Tom Brady is a legend at the end of the day, and they've knocked him like that. But I think his rating will go up pretty fast this season on Madden.
Looking, just as you're saying, knocking people for having not great seasons, Aaron Rodgers leading the team 13-3 and sits just under 89 doesn't really sit well when Drew Brees is up at 93. I'm all for Green Bay was led a bit more by the running game and Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Drew Brees up at 93. That's possibly part of. I mean, if I had Michael Thomas to throw to, I'm sure I'd be in the 90s as well.
Yeah, I think it is one of the situations where it's obviously the team you've got around you for the receiving end as well. And I think Rodgers has never had any weapons to use at his disposal at all. And I think it's just because he can't throw to anyone doesn't mean we already know how good of a quarterback he is because of what he's doing with the weapons he's got. Like, he hasn't got an arsenal like most people do. And I think it's quite there is a big knock to him as well, but hopefully he turns his attitude round from those tweets and all that earlier on this year. And I just really hope all the people who've had these negative thoughts after this season, and it's been a crap year for everyone with all the virus and everything, I hope everyone just comes out flying. I think everyone's just got a lot to prove this season.
Are you surprised by Matt Ryan at 87, especially sitting ahead of Deshaun Watson?
Hmm. I don't really know how you'd rate him as a QB on Madden as well, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. Especially against Deshaun Watson, I think Deshaun is better, in my opinion. So I would have rated Watson higher. I think I just haven't watched enough film or anything on Ryan to even give him a chance. If you know what I mean, like I couldn't critique him too highly, but I still would rate Watson above him, especially in Madden.
I find Matt Ryan to be an underrated quarterback because you never
Yeah,
discuss him in the top tier.
yeah,
Because as soon as you say his name, everyone just goes, "Well, you fucked up the Super Bowl, didn't you?"
yeah,
And uh, arguably, he is obviously part of the problem, but he also got
yeah,
his team that lead,
yeah.
and the defense lost his team that lead in just
Minutes.
just unbelievable fashion, you know. But obviously, as the quarterback, he will take the hit for it. It will always be,
Yeah,
well, you lost that final.
yeah. And it's always going to be like that with sport. It's just like, especially with a sport like American football, the mistake is so obvious, and it's so easy to blame someone when something goes wrong. And so like it will get thrown in your face every time someone brings your name up. So and it's just gonna be one of them things you'll have to take to its deathbed, really, won't it?
Just heading over to the running backs. We saw McCaffrey 99. The
Yeah.
rest of the top 10: Derrick Henry 93, Nick Chubb 92, Ezekiel Elliott 92, Saquon 91, Dalvin Cook 91, Aaron Jones 90, Joe Mixon 89, Josh Jacobs 88, Alvin Kamara 88. The big one on here is Zeke. Has to be Zeke. He's come out recently. He's been moaning about people not giving him respect for how good he is.
Yeah.
As much as Derrick Henry was the rushing champion last year, do you think Ezekiel Elliott is the best running back in the league?
It's one of them weird things with Zeke. You watch him, and he generally is incredible to watch. When you solely watch him play, like he's so versatile, he's such a big guy to be cutting angles like he does it, and like I think that's what Saquon bases most of his running style off of as well. It's hard when using Madden ratings as well. It's hard because it's always been based off the season they had. Zeke's not going to come out higher than him on that. Derrick Henry was just a better running back this last season, a better running back overall. That might be a slightly different question. I think we would have to see for this season right now. Let's see where Zeke comes out on top. Can he prove it again that he is a great running back?
And another one there. I know it's only a rating different, but do you think Nick Chubb's better than Saquon?
No, but I don't know how to say it. If you know what I mean, like I don't know why I'd say no. I think Nick Chubb can just make the yards out, like when he's got the gap, whereas Saquon creates the gap. If you know what I mean, I think that is the difference, and that's more what you want in a running back. But I think Chubb is just great. The rating difference is obviously it won't matter too much during the season.
No,
the ratings fluctuate, but yeah, I don't know. How about you?
Do you know what I like about this list is I don't think McCaffrey's this much ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
But you want to put him in the 99. That's fair enough. I think on this list, he's the biggest dual threat. So I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
What would you rate him if he hadn't been a 99?
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
I'd like to see him somewhere in the 95 range.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he's still... I would never say he's miles ahead of anyone in the league as a running back, but it is that dual threat that he possesses and the fact that he pretty much carried the Panthers this year.
Yeah.
And that is scary for a running back to do. Obviously, a running back is a big position, but to be able to do that is in such a fashion. He did it in as well. He did it with flair. He did it with style, and he was just cutting teams and just running through people. And for his size, being able to run through people as well is quite scary too.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think now, looking at sort of the younger players on this list, I'm looking particularly at Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
Do you think they could now look towards McCaffrey and become a dual threat themselves? Because they've got the hands, they've not quite got receiver hands.
Yeah.
But they're good at handling the ball. They have to be good at handling the ball.
I think this is the main thing for the NFL at the moment in general. Like, I think this could be a topic for another time as well. But like, how the NFL is morphed into this situation where each player needs to have a secondary ability of some sort, like QB being able to run, like not just being a cannon arm and that's it. That's all you've got in your game is a cannon arm and you just hand the ball off. It's the ability of Lamar Jackson. Mahomes is different. Like he can throw the ball and he can get out of a pocket beautifully. But Lamar is bringing that to the game now, and like Russell Wilson's brought it before, and it's just that the ability to run and split teams with your quarterback, and then now Christian McCaffrey bringing it into a running back, being a running back that can catch and receive in different areas of the pitch so well as well. I think it is going to bring a new element to football.
I'm excited. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
On the wide receivers list, we saw Michael Thomas over at 99. Just running through the rest of the top 10. We've got DeAndre Hopkins at 98, Julio Jones 97, Tyreek at 96, Devontae Adams 94, Amari Cooper 93, Mike Evans 92, Stephon Diggs 92, Keenan Allen 91, and Odell Beckham Jr. at 91. Just looking at those top three.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll agree with me on
there.
this.
It was
Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones.
Yes.
I would say that they are the elite receivers. They're in a different class. I know they're all separated by a rating. I would put them three in. You have to go 2-on-1 against them. It's as simple as that. And you might not even win 2-on-1.
Yeah. I think it's weird from all three of them. They all seem to have an amazing football knowledge and knowledge of the players ahead of them as well. I think whatever they do in film room shows on the pitch, like the experience they have coming out onto a field, that they know that what they're going to do straight away against that person. And I think that shows, like with a lot of the younger receivers that are lower down in the ratings, I think they have the flair, they have the speed, they have acceleration, they can get off, but then they can hit their routes, but then do they know who they're against? And I think that's like to show, especially people like Amari Cooper, like we spoke about earlier. Is he knowing his matchups well enough?
Probably not. I really don't rate him. I just want to throw that out there. I really don't rate him. Just looking a little bit down the list, Keenan Allen and Odell sat on 91. Odell, do you feel like he could be in that top tier of elite receivers? He's just missing that sort of knowledge that you're talking about with them playing against other players.
I think with Odell, he's just lost his head with the fact that he got big-headed when he went viral with a couple of good catches, and then he got to the point where he is an amazing receiver. But now he's got to the point where he just knows it, and that's it. That's good enough for him. I just don't think he's trying to prove anything anymore. And I think in a sport like American football, you need to be humble about where you are. And receiver is obviously a difficult position. You are the flair man. You are the sexy catcher. You got to pull out the big stomps now and again, and he can do it. So, and if he can pull off one a season, he's fine with that. And I think he just needs to grow up a bit.
Just sort of the middle of the list. Amari Cooper we spoke about before with his contract, and all right, he's Dallas's number one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Tyreek's the one that gets me because, and this might be controversial, but Tyreek is a good receiver, but I would not put him anywhere past good. And what sets him apart is his speed. He's lightning quick. How often do we see him. When you're looking at like Julio and the boys upwards, we see them catching traffic, we see them catch under pressure. How often do we see Tyreek do that? Or compared to how often do we see him break away from the secondary?
Yeah, I think the issue with that is that just comes down to the biology of him. You have to use him for his weapons in his system. Like he is not Julio Jones. He's not that stature. He's not a big guy. He's a short man with speed, and that's what you got to use him for. I think you can't. It is a hard comparison when you're using those, I suppose. But as an all-round receiver, you're not going to be able to use him in catching in traffic. You're not going to be able to use him in the slot or anything like that. He is just your catch man. Like when you need that speed, when you need that vertical route, or if you need post or something like that, he's there because he can get away from anyone. Whereas Julio and people like that, like Michael Thomas, they can catch in traffic just because they can take the hits. I don't think if you allowed Tyreek Hill to get hit by someone big, he's going to like it very much.
Yeah. I don't think any of us would we? And finally, we'll just look through the tight end ratings. George Kittle on 98, Travis Kelce 97, Rob Gronkowski on 95, Zach Ertz 90, Austin Hooper 89, Evan Engram on 88, Jared Cook 87, Greg Olsen and Mark Andrews on 86, and Darren Waller on 85.
One for me, I will jump in on that one. How is Gronk 95? Like, how is he higher rating than Brady coming into this when he's had this?
the problem with Gronk this season is there's just such a question mark. You know.
Yeah.
We've seen him. He's lost weight. He's lost a lot of weight. I don't think we're going to be seeing him blocking as much as he was.
No.
As a vertical threat, yep, he's still there. I imagine his hands are still good. I imagine his route running is still good. And I do think we'll now see him transition into a purely offensive tight end. Sorry, a purely receiving tight end. But again, there's just a question mark. You know, a lot of the catches he took when he's under pressure, he gets there because of his size. And now that he doesn't have that anymore.
And it's just like with linebackers and such that tight ends are coming up against you. I mean, linebackers, D tackles and DNs and stuff like that, they're all pretty much around the same size now. And if you're losing weight, it is obviously because of his age. He's had to lose that weight to stay at the same level. I think he's probably in the best shape he's been for a long time. And when you get it to fitness levels, he probably is fitter. But how is that going to affect his game? We don't know yet, I suppose. But the books clearly know what they're doing, pairing him with Brady.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him. I'm just worried for him that this is going to tarnish. You know, he has been called the greatest tight end ever, and I'm not willing to dispel against that. You know what? I think he's very deserving what he's done since he's come in the league. But now we're looking, and I suppose we're looking at it with Brady, not as much, is we're now going to look at them possibly tarnishing their reputation.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be, holy shit, what just happened? They've come back, and they're looking better than ever, and it's going to be Gronk coming back with his big attitude, his all of his comedic styles, and he's just going to come out, look at me, I'm ripped now, and I'm out here showing all you youngsters how to do it as well. I just think it's going to be fun.
Just at the top of that list, George Kittle 98, Travis Kelce 97. Should they be the other way around?
I think I'd still prefer Kittle as my tight end over Kelce. I don't know how to even compare them really. Like they're so similar in stature and ability wise, and obviously it's shown with the only being a one rating difference. How would you have them? Would you put them the other way around?
I'd like Kelce ahead. Do you know when you just look at someone and go, they've got it?
Yeah.
I really, really feel that with Kelce, and that's not saying that George Kittle's not good. George Kittle is amazing. These two, and I know he's very, very low rated, but Zach Ertz, as I've said, put them in the elite of tight ends.
Yeah.